Hi, today we're going to be looking at stem and leaf plots. So we're going to display data in stem and leaf plots, and we're also going to interpret data from stem and leaf plots. So we're going to learn what a stem and leaf plot is, stems and leaves, and even a special type of stem and leaf plot, a back-to-back stem and leaf plot. Here, let me move this out of the way or down in the corner. All right, so here's some data. Maybe we want to put that in what's called a stem and leaf plot. Well, how would we do that? The next couple slides will go ahead and show you. If you want to copy down the data to follow along, that's fine, or you can just obviously follow along on the screen. But this is an amount of harvested peanuts in 2001 with an approximate value. Notice they're all rounded really nice just to make it easier for us to make our stem and leaf. So Alabama, Florida, Georgia, New Mexico, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, and Virginia are all producing peanuts. All right, so what do we do? Step one, we're going to find the lowest and the highest number, the least and the greatest. Then we're going to identify the greatest place value digit in each of the numbers, and in this case, it's going to be in the thousands. Now, most of the ones that we're going to do are just going to be two-digit numbers. But here we have 22,000 and 3,000. I'm sorry, 2,200 and 3,000. So the least one here has a 2 here in the first spot, and this one has a 3 in the first spot. Those are going to be our stems. So when we go ahead and we make our stem and leaf plot, we're going to need a 2 and we're going to need a 3. Now, if there were numbers in between, we would need those also. But in this case, just the 2 and just the 3. So we're going to draw the vertical line, and there's that 2 and there's that 3. Again, those are considered our stems. And then we're going to do the leaves. The leaves here. So these are all the numbers that come after the 2. So 24, 28, 28, 24, 29, so on and so forth. And then the 30, the 0 should be down here with the 30. It's just off a little bit. Sorry about that. We do need to go ahead and rearrange them in order from least to greatest just to make it look nice. So we do the 22, 24, 24, 26, so on and so forth. And then we like to go ahead and put a key down there. Now remember, these were thousands. So that's 2,400 that we're really talking about, not 24 and not 30. It should be 3,000. So in order to represent that, we need to make sure that we write a key at the bottom so that we can know exactly what we mean here. And of course, we like to go ahead and put a label if we're talking about some data. So let's try another one. Now this doesn't have any particular label that we need, which is okay. So I'm going to look at all my different numbers here, and I'm going to look at their two-digit numbers. So I'm going to look at the first digit. I got a 6, a 7, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 7, a 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, and a 5. So I need 3 numbers here. I'm going to need a 5, a 6, and a 7. And then I'm going to need to put all those values in. So like this one's going to be a 6 here and a 5 on the other side. The 72 will be a 7 with a 2. 59 is a 5 with a 9. Now we do need to put them in order, so it's 5, 6, 7, and then each of these going across here will have to go in order also. So actually my lowest number, this 55, is going to be first. It's going to be 5 with a 5, then the 5 with a 9, and then I go into my 60s, and then finally finish up with the 70s, the biggest one, 75. So here we go. So 5 with 5 and 5 with 9, 6 with 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth. And again, down here we have our wonderful key to tell us what it is. We just chose one of the values. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Just choose one of them to show what it actually means. And then we have miles per hour. All right, once we know what a stem and leaf plot is and we can make them, we can start making some judgments from them or using them to interpret certain equations or questions. So this one says, what interval contains the most percentages? So which one has the most values? It's really easy to go ahead and tell. It's kind of like a bar graph, a sideways bar graph. And if we're looking, the 0 has a lot. It even went over. We ran out of room, so we went over here. So that value from 0 up to 8 or up to 9, because that's the interval, that's the biggest one. So we're talking about the interval from 0 to 9. What is the greatest percentage? Well, we can just do that by going all the way down to the bottom, 74. What is the median? Now remember, median is the middle number. So we're going to have to start crossing things out. 1 here with 1 there, 2 there with 2 there. And you just keep crossing off until you get a middle number right here in the middle, 22.25. All right. So 2 and 3 were the two middle numbers. And so you have to find the average of those two, which is 22.5. Which interval occurs the most here? Again, we're just kind of looking. It's definitely these 4s here. So 40 to 49. See, it is. What's the difference between the greatest and the least? Well, my biggest here is 50. My smallest is 0. So 50 minus 0 is just 50. They do like C's on this one. What's the median? Start crossing them off. And we're going to get in the middle here, right? So this one's 32. Now remember I told you about a special type. This is the double stem and leaf plot graphs. Be careful with this. The Florida ones are really easy. That's 14 and 20 and 20 and 22. Again, millions. But over here, the 1 is with the 7, so that's 17. That's not 71. It's 17. This is 28, 24, 31, and 32. So be careful with that. See how they have it backwards here, 3 with the 2, 3 with the 1. It has to be that because of the double. So which one produces more? Well, California's got those 3s, and each of these numbers are bigger in California than they are in Florida. It's got to be California. Which one is the most varied, has the most spread out numbers? This one goes from, California goes from 17 to 32. This one only goes from 14 to 24. This isn't very spread out. Those numbers are really close to each other. These are all over the place. Again, it's got to be California. All right, let's try one more of these just to make sure that we understand them. So here we have test scores, male and female. Who's getting better grades? Well, there's a couple males down here, and there are a couple nice grades here, but same with the girls. I think it's the girls, the females. That it is. Which one is more varied? Again, it's the males are kind of all over the place. They got some really low and some really high. So males. And that's all we have for you today.